Hi there Capricorn, how are you guys doing? Really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. So we're going to be doing a pick card reading by the end of the session. It's going to be how do they feel about you. Don't forget to check your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. Me personally, I realize that with my readings and all general readings out there on YouTube that I tend to resonate a lot more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or what have you. So you might want to check that one out too. And this is general reading, so the rules might get reversed. All right, guys? So Capricorn, let's talk about your overall energy for the now. You have the Six of Cups in reverse. You have the Wheel of Fortune, and then you also have the Devil card there. So I feel that you're dealing with somebody who feels right for you in the past. You tried to be optimistic about it, but the thing is that the reality, it just doesn't add up. This person lets you in on a secret before in the past, and it was something that gave like a little bit of a sudden change into this relationship. This person gave up on you. You tried to work on it. Might be dealing with a Sagittarius, a Capricorn, a water sign, or a Scorpio, or a fire sign here. But yeah, this person kind of like gave up on you. This person feels that they might kind of like tell you this too though. But they're feeling a little bit pessimistic when it comes to this relationship and trying to convince them otherwise. You know, in terms of the day-to-day basis, in terms of the mundane and daily activities and everything like that, this looks promising because this person is willing to put in the work and effort when it comes to those, you know, that matters. But every time you try to communicate with them, every time you try to talk to them and everything like that, you kind of like feel a little bit unheard here, Capricorn. You feel that it's not fair, that all you gotta listen to is their feelings and how they kind of like compromise some things to make this relationship work. And yet every time you try to talk, this person is, you just don't feel that. I can't wait to Saturn moving to Aquarius, to be honest with you. It's been in Capricorn for quite a while now. I have stelliums in Capricorn. Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune in Capricorn. It's driving me nuts. Why? Yeah. In the future, this is going to be like the shortest reading ever because it's so straight to the point. You feel a little bit unfairness when it comes to this person, and then this person does have like a tendencies. I mean, just as card and reverse sometimes for me to know it's like, yeah, you hurt them, but the thing is that this person would want to see you hurting more than you hurt them, kinda. You need to ask yourself if this is even love or is this like familiarity and habit towards you? Or just because you need somebody to talk to. I don't Pentacles and represent. You're going to have like a good opportunities when it comes to work. However, I would say be careful about your expenses this week, Capricorn. If somebody is kind of like asking you for money to, for their businesses or for their projects or whatever that is, I feel that you need to kind of like wait around for a little bit. In the future, you're going to shock them. You're going to shock them because here's the thing. Yeah, I have like a lot of Capricorns. I actually get along with Capricorns really well, probably because Capricorn is my 7th house and I have stelliums in there. But I have like a lot of family members, and my best friend, my really, really best friend, is a Capricorn. Sometimes people trample all over them. You know what I mean? Because they're just so nice and they just genuinely caring. I don't understand why people would say that Capricorns are cold and everything like that. I just don't get it. Because they genuinely care about you, not in a way that they would kind of like cry together with you, but they would offer some solutions and help. Capricorn will always be the first person who would come to me every time I need deep shit. Like, no lie to you, no question about it. They're the nicest people, and people kind of like used to take them for granted. They forget the fact that you guys are cardinals. And you're going to show your cardinal side in the future. You're going to show how you would want to create some boundaries, how you would then going to protest about the injustice and unfairness that you've been feeling when it comes to this relationship. You're going to be like, hey, relationship is between two people. You want to be heard. I've already gave you a chance and opportunities to be heard. I hear you. I hear what you need. I know why you're pessimistic about this relationship. Didn't I try to make it work? Didn't I try to compromise? But now, because I compromise, I feel that in Asia we call it like dikasih hati minta jantung, meaning that we gave you our liver and now you're asking for a heart, or we gave you our kidney and now you're asking for my heart. So yeah, so you're going to create a boundaries which would then going to be such a shocker for them. And it's going to hurt them very, very much because of the fact that you are actually just going to tell them what you think. You're trying to take a charge in your situations again. You're trying to take a charge and control of your life again. And even if it's going to cost you walking away from this relationship emotionally, whether it be permanently or temporarily, you're willing to do that. Depending on how the pick a card reading goes, alright, if this is like a positive pick a card reading, you're dealing with somebody who, if your pick a card reading is going to end up being something that is of positive, this is going to be your interpretations. You're dealing with somebody who is extremely, extremely sensitive. Yeah. I think this person is an old soul who just doesn't know how to kind of like protect themselves and how to regulate, all of the weird things that a sensitive people does or feel. So they're very, very sensitive people, and your relationship with them comes for a purpose so that they then get to be able to speak up their mind and their emotions much more fluently. And in the process of speaking up their mind fluently, it's a good thing for you to kind of like then try to teach them or encourage them to have a much more fair judgment when it comes to the relationship, because we're talking about two people. We're not only talking about one person here, right? In a relationship, it's not always about one person needs, one person wants, and everything like that. It's two people. So both parties needs to understand what compromise really is about. If the pick a card reading turns out to be something that is positive, this person loves you very much and this person is willing to put in the work actually, but it's just that their energy level, and they're kind of like moody. They do have a tendency to have those mood swings, and they're a bit anxious too. So every time you focus on other things, like probably your work or your friends or family, or if you guys are in a long distance relationship, or they haven't met you for like one day or whatever, they got that anxiety creeping in and making them feel not good, you know, like anxious people think highly of other people and think very, very less of them. So there's also like, yeah. So if you having like a good positive pick card reading by the end of the session, just try to communicate with them and kind of like speak up your mind about like, yo, I've been trying to understand you, but I feel that now our relationship has been like a little bit unfair because it's always about what you need and what you want. It's not about what I need and what I want. Let's kind of like compromise where it can be compromised. You know what I mean? So that is if you guys have got a positive pick a card reading by the end of the session. However, if you guys get like a negative pick a card reading by the end of the session, it's toxic, man. What can I say? Even when you guys are trying to create a boundaries for yourself in the future, and you're really going to be speaking up your mind and expressing how things has been running unfair in this relationship, this person is going to play the victim. As if like you're the one who is in the wrong for speaking up your mind and expressing your emotions. What the fuck? Right? It's just toxic. It is toxic. If you got like a negative reading, pick a card reading, it's just toxic. They're just playing the victim. They will never ever be grateful and thankful for all the things that you've done for them, Capricorn. They will never be. You're going to leave them anyway. You're gonna. Probably when the moon is in Taurus or in Libra, but you're going to be leaving them. Because you feel that this person is just like morally wrong and just unfair for you guys. Right? So I think that is it for my reading for you. If you guys are only one person, I'm going to be leaving a timestamp right over here to when the pick card reading starts. And now let's move on to the two people scenarios. So if you guys are dealing with two people, person A is somebody who kind of like lost their hopes on you. They're being pessimistic when it comes to this relationship and whatnot. And then you try to convince them otherwise. You try to convince them that yes, it's still workable and everything like that. And then now this person is going to put in more consistencies and persistencies and consistencies of trying to build this relationship the way that you guys like it. However, in the future, this person is going to communicate with you or going to come up with an idea that you probably don't really like because financially it sounds very expensive. Yeah. Especially if you guys are either dealing with a Sagittarius or a Pisces or a water sign. They're going to kind of like come up with an idea that is pretty expensive and you're just not liking it. But yeah, it's just like a little bit of a problem here. Or if you guys are dealing with a Sagittarius or a Pisces or water sign, this person is also going to communicate with you how kind of like how they feel that they cannot get inside of you in a way that they just don't know how you stand with them emotionally. Do you love them? It's like you guys are kind of like quite hard to get into. They'd probably say that you guys are a bit of an avoidant too, though. But yeah, this person is then going to communicate something. And they're also going to have an idea of doing something together with them that is pretty expensive. And you guys are like, I'm not sure about doing that. That's person A. Person B is somebody who, I forgot to clarify this one. Okay. So person B is somebody who just suddenly, all of a sudden, just kind of like withdrew themselves away from you. And you guys are kind of like shocked, like, why? Why you withdrew yourself from me? You're usually always on my face, and then you're yeah, and then now you're just kind of like waiting. So what they are doing is basically they want you to come to them. There's two actually interpretations of this. If you ask this person and pick a card reading and it turns out to be negative, it means that they feel that they have successfully got their hook on you, and then now they're just waiting for somebody else in the horizon because they already know that they've invested a lot on you, but they want to check out what's on the horizon. That is if you got a negative pick card reading on this person. But if you have a positive pick card reading for this person, they just feel that they've done a lot for you and then you haven't done a lot for them. They want you to meet them halfway. And then with person B in the now, this person is, they kind of know that you're already there for them emotionally. You're having like a really, really great talk of conversations with them. But the thing is that this person is petty, Capricorn. Person A is like a lot better. Person B is just so petty. All of the hurtful things that they probably experienced in their interactions with you, whether you realize it or not, or whether you did it intentionally or not, this person is extremely sensitive and they're always in the mentality of like, poor me, poor me, poor me. So all of the smallest things that you've done, careful, they're pretty petty, so they might want to revenge you for that. And then when I'm talking about revenge, it's not like you didn't reply for their to their message for like 1 hour and then they would exactly do it for 1 hour. No, they'd do it probably 24 hours until they are satisfied with their revenge. So it's a bit petty. And I feel that you're going to realizing it in the future, because then you're going to create some boundaries when it comes to this person. I feel that you probably are going to emotionally walk away from this person because this person is just toxic. It's either they kind of like wanting to explore their sexualities, or it's always about I am the right person, and regardless of whatever information you might throw to me that proves me otherwise, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking is the rightest one. And then you would see how this person is just so shallow. And I feel that with the person B, you're going to walk away from person B. All right. Whew. So now let's get on to the pick card reading, Capricorn. All right, so now I have 4 piles of cards with me now. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Again, this is pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds of full silence so that you guys can concentrate. 1 pile of card for 1 person. All right, Capricorn? 1 pile of card for 1 person. If you have multiple people that you want to ask, it's okay, but 1 pile of card for 1 person. All right, let's go. Okay, so for those of you who chose pile number 1, you have the Lover's card, you have the 2 of Swords in reverse, the Tower card, Ace of Pentacles, and also the King of Cups. So, how do they feel about here? All right, so they are the type of people who are always like this, the 2 of Swords, okay? Always so protective of their heart chakras, always so protective, or always trying to protect themselves for any sort of vulnerability. They're just not willing to let anybody in. They're very smart. They rely a lot on their intellectuals and their mental processing. They try to rationalize feelings, they try to rationalize love, they try to rationalize depression, anxieties, and everything like that. They're a very, very rational person, okay? And then they met you. Them meeting you is a divine or godly type of intervention, because you have 2 major arcanas in here, which is the Lover's card and also the Tower. So these feelings came to them as a shock. It's a way of God or divine is like really saying like, oh, look, you can't live like this. You can't keep people at emotional bay. You can't do that. All right? You have to start having some feelings in yourself. You have to start believing that people does functions better if they also follow their emotional or their feelings. So, love comes to those who deny it now. But love comes to them. The Lover's card in this particular deck of mine, I have two, okay? The first one is that when the guy is still kind of like eyeing the woman, and then this one where he's already making decisions, both parties making a decision to love one another. So they fall in love with you unexpectedly. It was something that they didn't really foresee it coming. And it really, really did came to them as a shock, because it's an idea that is very foreign to them. You know, somebody who is very, very rational, somebody who always rationalizes everything, suddenly have feelings. So they might be a bit stiff and weird and awkward about that. Yeah, they're on a process of emotionally opening up, Capricorn. They're starting to see, okay, so if I were to be working on these emotions that I have for Capricorn, and I start giving more and I start opening up more, I can see this actually, you know, coming into a Ten of Pentacles, into something that is tangible and has the guarantee of permanence in it. They're starting up, they're opening up. They are also probably reading some books or getting themselves to a relationship coach or something like that, but they're learning these things. You're the one person who made them learn these things. One of the challenges that I see in here is that they do have friends who are still not evolved yet, so that might be of a challenge of this relationship. Okay, those friends that are similar to who he were or who she were before they met you, that probably are going to be like a little bit of a distractions. You have one person that is then going to be a problematic within his or her circle, that is going to be a problem for your relationship because they just don't like you. But overall, we're talking about this person only. This person does love you, and it came to them as a shock, the fact that, you know, they're able to feel something. Now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 2. 4 of Cups, King of Wands, Page of Wands, 10 of Swords. I'm not really liking this pile of cards, to be honest with you, Capricorn. Why don't I like it? It's because, one, the reason or the intention of them getting to you first and foremost was already wrong. The thing is that they see you as a very, very attractive human being, either physically, or is that you guys have like a good status, or you something about it, right? That's just very attractive. And they believe and they know full well that there are people throwing themselves at you. And then they're like, okay, would it be nice if I get Capricorn to fall in love with me, because it's then going to raise my self-esteem, because I just beat these other people who are lining up throwing themselves at Capricorn. This is what they believe in, all right? I could make Capricorn crazy about me, means that I just beat all these people. They're using you as a way to make themselves feel better about themselves because they got you. You're a hot catch. They kind of like, the thing is that deep down inside they believe you guys are out of their league, and that's also one of the reasons why they're after you. And they also see you in the beginning, you guys are kind of like quite stiff and, you know, like a little bit of an avoidant person, and they did always to try to convince you to, you know, fall for them and everything like that. And it's just something that they boast off. I mean, what does it look like, this Page of Wands reason to be in a relationship or to be dating or to be interacting with anybody. What does it look like? This Page of Wands, right? Something to boast to their friends. It's still a page. If this is a relationship that has been going on for quite a while, like minimum 1 year, this person got hurt. Their ego got like a little bit hurt because I feel that you pushed them away a little bit. You're not allowing them to, have so much power or have so much influence on you that much. Well, maybe minimum 6 months left. So now they're being like a little bit of a bratty person. Their ego is like is very big. They're not used to becoming extremely vulnerable because again, it's just not who they are. They would probably try to work it through with you guys, but in the end, you guys are just going to get bullied once more. It's a part of their strategy. I think there was some moments in their life where they got like, it's either they got like a addiction, or it could be that they had like some sort of a traumatic experience that kind of like made them stop developing psychologically at that age. But they're being very, very petty. And this person could resort to trying to make you jealous or trying to make you feel like you're nothing for them. Simply because it's just who they are. I mean, like, look at this Page of Wands. I think you can get a lot by just like looking at this picture. Right? So let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 3. Star card, 3 of Cups, Strength card, and also the 9 of Pentacles. I think this was you guys starting off as a friend, or they really, really like the friendship aspect of this relationship, but it's really, really hard for them to be, vulnerable, because here's the thing, okay? How do they feel about you? They feel that you're very, very different from the rest, okay? Whenever you guys are with them, they like who they are when they're with you. And they're kind of like fascinated with either your scent or the touch of your skin, but they're kind of like fascinated about these things. But the thing is that this person has like a little bit of a problem of opening up emotionally. They have a problem of really letting you know, or really, really showing their appreciations of you. So that's why it could be kind of like quite feeling like on the surface, right? With the 3 cups being friendly, being life of a party. 9 of Pentacles has this type of exterior look of like, I get everything under control, everything is just fine and whatnot, and everything like that. They're kind of like withholding themselves back a lot from expressing their emotions to you, from expressing how grateful and how thankful they are for meeting you and for you guys to change them almost. I feel that your interactions with them kind of like changed them in a good way somehow. But they're still kind of like a little bit prideful of really, really admitting this. They're holding themselves back like a lot, but it's a good experience for them. If this is like somebody that you've known briefly, so let's say maximum 6 months, so less than 6 months, You gotta be careful with what they're portraying on the outside, okay? Because they might be portraying as if like they got everything under control, they got their career, they got their life under control, they got their emotions, that they're so good and they're so independent and whatnot and everything like that. But it's just like a showy thing. You see how it's very, very shy at the back, but she's still posing as if like it's the best season of the year. Yeah. But they like to camouflage things with happiness. So when they're sad, they like to cover their sadness with laughter, with jokes. Did I hurt you? They'd be like, oh no, it's fine. I know you were joking. You know, something like that. So it's somebody who likes to mask their feelings with laughters and jokes. But they are very, very appreciative of you. Okie dokie, so now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 4. You have the Emperor, you have the 3 of Pentacles, you have the 9 of Cups, and then you also have the 5 of Pentacles. So my interpretations on this card is going to differ between people who have known this person for quite a while, meaning that it's more than 6 months, and people who have known this person less than 6 months. So we're going to go with the first one, people who've known this person for more than 6 months, all right? So if you guys have been dealing with this person more than 6 months, you need to understand that this person has a good intention, okay? Because this person feels the need to take control over the situations, and they really, really want to move forward and push things through with you. However, the way that they do it unintentionally might be wrong. Because as you can see here, right, they have the Emperor card and they also have the 3 of Pentacles. So they feel the need to be more proactive within this relationship. They feel the need to kind of like sit together with you, talk things through, and then kind of like collaborate, reconcile, and work through the issues of this relationship. This is what they're intending to do. This is what their intentions are. However, in the process, I feel that you probably are feeling as if like everything that they're trying to do for this relationship is only serving to their own purpose or for their own emotional fulfillment. And there's a cause for this, because I feel that this person that you're dealing with in and now, you know, have had some sort of like disappointment in their life previously. So they probably had been disappointed with their exes, or probably from their parents, or probably from their community or whatnot. But they've been disappointed before. So sometimes, you know, even though the intention is really, really good, that they want to work things out with you, sometimes they could not really, really see that what they're kind of like actually doing is a little bit selfish. So if this is the case, you know, if you've been dealing with this person for more than 6 months, we need to kind of like appreciate like good intentions, right? Even though there is some sort of like self issues that is being dragged upon, but we kind of like need to appreciate like good gestures and good intentions. So what you could do about it is that I think this is the really, really great time for you to say whatever it is that you're needing to say, Capricorn. Just kind of like whenever you have this opportunities of being the 3 of Pentacles, where you guys are talking together to try to sort this relationship together. I really do feel that you guys need to start speaking out with your own voice and say to them like, look, you know, I appreciate your great intention. I know full well that you're trying to make this work. I also try to make this work. But the thing is that I feel that all of the solutions and all of the things that you want, you know, isn't really fitting for me. I feel that it's only fitting for your own emotional fulfillment, and it has nothing or less to do with me. I think we need to compromise in a way that we could be collectively happy, and it's not just going to be a relationship that is soothing you, but it also needs to be a relationship that is then going to make me happy. I think you need to say it specifically what you're feeling about this relationship without even being judgmental or without even being harsh, because they do have a good intention, Capricorn, but it's just that, well, they've been abandoned before, and sometimes, you know, people who have been hurt, they do tend to be a little bit selfish in requiring other people to give before they even give, because they need some guaranteed. Yeah? Well, it may sound like a good thing, but imagine being, you know, on the other side. It's not nice to be feeling this way, and I feel that this is exactly what you've been feeling. However, if you guys been dealing with this person for less than 6 months, the interpretation is going to be extremely, extremely different, because you need to leave immediately because this person sends some vulnerabilities in you. The thing is that avoidant is attracted to anxious, narcissistic is attracted to codependent, energy vampires is attracted to empaths, and that's how it is. And I feel that they sense it from you. They sense the fact that you guys are always about other people, always enabling things, always trying to accommodate things and everything like that. And they find pleasure. They found their next target. They found the next target that's going to be able to supply them with things. And that is you. And no matter how many... Actually, this might resonate a lot too with people who have been dealing with this person for more than 6 months. I mean, you're the one who can judge your own circumstances. But regardless of how many times you try to work things out, regardless of how many conversations and heart-to-heart talks and counselings and, you know, all of these stuffs that you've been through, this person is a selfish person. They will always enter a relationship based off of what value and what type of things that you can add for them. It's not really somebody who knows how to love somebody unconditionally. It's very difficult. So kind of like depends, but if it's like the later interpretation is the one that fits you the most, then I feel that you need to leave, because why? There are some people who are just good at loving from the distance. You know what I mean? I understand you're a loving person, but there are some people who, you know, just love them at a distance. Giving them chances, giving them opportunities, even though you know that they're selfish and they probably have already wronged you, giving them those chances, you know, it doesn't make you a good person. It makes you an enabler. There's a difference in there, okay? What will make you a good person is that you kind of like leave them at be and just kind of like pray for them and love from them from a distance. It doesn't mean that you need to kind of like dilute your energy with that type of negative energy. All right? Yeah, so I think that is it from my reading for you, Capricorn. I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity you've been looking for, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another weekly reading. All right? Bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.